You're still watching iBrand Daybreak on iBrandTV, and of course we're delving into the sad story, the sad incident that happened in OWO, Ondo State yesterday, which of course has thrown the nation into serious mourning. And of course Nigeria has been experiencing violence in recent times, but this one is very unprecedented, especially as it happened during the day in a church where people were worshiping. We would be talking more on this with Mazi. Mazi is still right here with us. Thank you so much for staying with us,
It's
Mazi.
my pleasure once again. Thank you for having me.
Mazi, you would expect that with this incident that happened yesterday, that the flags will be flying at half-mast, that the nation would be in mourning. In Texas, 18 or 19 pupils were killed with their teacher, and we saw the state of mourning, what the president did, the actions that followed. But this is a country where over 40 people died, unprecedented, in the south, the southern part of the country. And it looks like it's just business as usual. The president still held a meeting with his, his governors and party members yesterday, that same day where the incident happened. What are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, first and foremost, I must commiserate with the family of the deceased, and also commiserate with the Ondo State governor and the people of Ondo State. It's very, very unfortunate, very, very bad, wicked, and anything that you can describe it, very barbaric. Things have actually fallen apart in this country. I knew very well, even during the war, and somebody runs into a place of worship, it's regarded that that person has run into the arms of the Lord and is protected. The Bible said the righteous runs into and be saved. But unfortunately, nowhere is safe and secured. But let me make a point here that we interest Nigerians. Nowhere in Nigeria is safe, not even in our homes, not even in our communities, not even in our local governments, not even in our states. Nowhere is safe. No individual is safe in Nigeria. Then there have been so many talks, so many allegations and accusations that government, with due respect, they know what is happening. Because it's one thing for you to go to the inside the bush, shake a tree, and come out or say who is shaking that thing. That's what is playing out in Nigeria. If about you are saying more than 40, are they somewhere 50? Some say it's more than that. And look at how they invaded that church, a place of worship. It means that the security of this nation has completely collapsed. Even you analyzing here, be very conscious of your security. Assuming what happened in Ondo yesterday had happened in the southeast, they would have tagged it to be IPOB members. But they've forgotten that even in the north, it has been happening. I began to wonder, because Ondo State is supposed to be the headquarters of Amateku. And this, my friend, the governor, has been clamoring and saying that it will not happen. He talked about the ban of open grazing, the ranching, Aruga. But have you forgotten that there are some statements from some of the northern governors saying that you don't make law that you cannot protect, that you cannot effectively check? As if, remember it was Bauchi State Governor that said forest belongs to nobody, and which is wrong. I also want to sympathize with the governor of Benue State. They have been in the receiving end. There have been massive killing. And because these two governors have been vocal, in saying we don't want open grazing. These two governors. And then some of the northern governors have been saying, if you don't give the Fulani herdsmen some place for ranching and open grazing, you take what you see. And that is what is happening. And up to now, no arrest. Where are the intelligence gathering? A city. And unfortunately, that place, that OWO, is where the governor comes from. We're supposed to be adequately protected. So does it mean that these people came? I read the story. The prince said that they had closed the service and people were going out.
Yes.
All what they had was shooting everywhere. He said they ran into one of the rooms. And some passerbys were killed. Children, women. Is that not
broad daylight?
In the broad daylight. And it lasted for about 20 minutes. Nobody came to their aids. Okay, let me bring it to people's understanding. The archbishop that was arrested some time ago, last week now, he made some revelations, which personally I, Chinedum Obiora, has also said here. Even he accused the military that those that kidnapped him were operating closer to the checkpoints where military guys were there. And one of these days we have been traveling, a driver said that anywhere you see between Ore and Bini Road, through bypass, people listen, watching me, they will know. Between Ore, Bini bypass, there are so many military checkpoints, where the bishop was kidnapped. I know that place. My friend's friend was killed in that particular place. 2 years ago, my own personal friend, I don't want to mention his name on air, they were traveling during Christmas and they had some breakdowns along the road. They got to that place. They met that the military at the checkpoint. They said, let us stay here. The military said, no, we can't allow you to proceed further because we cannot guarantee checkpoints or military. It's okay, let us stay here. They said we cannot guarantee you that themselves are not safe here. Even though they virtually said that they contributed some money, they same that place. What the driver told us was that anywhere you see military checkpoints, please run away from there. That these boys, these Fulani boys, their cows are there, roaming about, grazing. And again, they are the young boys hawking water, soft drinks within that area. They don't allow any other tribes to sell water and drinks there. And he say, if they are inside the bush there, and you know what happened? They will block the major road, the express, blocked with heavy stick, and some will be laid on the ground that you must pass there slowly. Now, what happened? That bishop said, they said we are the owners of this country. We are the owners that if they see the president, they will eat him raw. You had it. Everybody had it. He did say it on a secret place. And they said they are waiting for just a signal. That nowhere is safe. That they've taken over the southwest. They've taken over the south-south. That their target is southeast, right? Because there is no security. Now, I listened to a program. They had this Fulani from about 6 regions gathered in Abuja. I listened to one of the Islamic clerics. He said the best thing to be done, and there will be, is that one, that amnesty should be given to the Fulanis. The land should be provided for them. Again, that in the same manner, the Niger militants have been treated, as they should be treated like that. That they should calculate this amount so paid to them and be paid to them. And finally, that Fulani ministry should be created for them as was created. So what has happened in Ondo State leaves much to be there. And it goes beyond mourning. By now, offices in Nigeria are supposed to be shut. Then it calls for attention.
But shouldn't it start from the top? The president himself, all he has released is, condolences and all of that. And this is what we get every time things like this happen. These men were unmasked. It shows you the bold-faced effrontery, the fact that they were not even scared to cover their faces. And there have been speculations that they're Fulani men, but there is really no evidence or any facts to show who they really are.
Even though there has not been official statement as to whom they were, but we know where certain as we don't kill ourselves, we value our lives. I came here and said last time that the South, we are very, very hospitable. We don't kill ourselves. That was when that lawmaker was beheaded. You can't see an evil man doing that. Do we value the life of average Nigerians? We don't value. Nigeria has gotten to a point that life is nothing. Our leaders. Okay, let me recall, because when I'm invited here, I make some research. I don't come here to talk from my head. That was a particular time. Somebody said that some of the governors in the north are their sponsors, are their commanders. He mentioned a particular name. Now, nothing has happened. Nothing has happened. You are asking me whether it's the president, what do you expect him to do? Ordinarily would have visited that or send a special delegate. It doesn't bother him. Was it about 3 years ago? 70 persons were killed in Benue State. But APC was going ahead with their convention. So it doesn't bother them because it has not touched them. But I have one prayer for them, but I will not say it on air.
Okay, Mazi. I mean, you said earlier that the church is meant to be like a sanctuary, you know, somewhere safe where people can
That is why what it is.
You know, not even just spiritually, but even physically. Now we're having, you know, such emboldened attacks wherein even churches, religious centers basically are not safe. How do we address this issue? Because it's one thing to talk about it, but we also need to address it heads on. It's gotten to a place where our marketplaces are not safe, our airports are not safe, you know, our homes are not safe, communities, even religious centers are not safe. How do we address this heads on? Because we can't continue like this.
But remember what they said? They want their land. That's what they said. And you actually here last week, the Abuja train kidnappers, what they needed. Fine. The only way we can address this troubles, this insecurity, is for us to unite. I've always said it, and I believe completely what Shoyinka said. He said this marriage, this love is negotiable. Right? It's negotiable. And when you decode it, it means a lot. Somebody was talking about restructuring. Somebody, people don't value. You've forgotten that somebody was even murdered in Abuja for blasphemy over the weekend.
Yes.
Right? The only solution is for us to get the right people. But unfortunately, I pity those clamoring to be the president. They are going to see a lot of problems. Is it the economy that has been bastardized? Is it the security? Is it our budget? 100%. Out of the 100%, about 97% is going for debt servicing. The person, if I were these people, I would just leave it. I will ask Buhari to continue.
But Mazi,
now let me come.
Okay.
The only solution is for the Northerners to tell themselves the truth. They are accusing the IPOB, the Southeast, that they want to be alone. But there are people who are saying that this country belongs to them. Can't we identify these people? Can't we identify these people? Dialogue is key. But unfortunately, they want to rule over the whole Nigeria. They believe that Nigeria belongs to them. If our president is there, the statement that Bishop made, he said one of the kidnappers was born and brought up in Omar. He mentioned the village. And he said the president has failed them. And even though he didn't expatiate the area, but we all knew. And we have said it, that before this man, especially this second tenor, that he has an agenda, which people said to Islamize the country, which I don't believe so earlier. But from the happenings, it's working gradually towards that. How can somebody say we want to kill everybody and take over the land, and you say we belong to them? Do you know Borno State is supposed not to be in the country? They are Kanuris. I've been there now. The Hausas there, they understand Kanuri just like as you understand Igbo or English. They don't speak, their major language is their Kanuri. Right? So, if our president, look at the service chiefs, how many of them from the south? How many? How many of them are from the same, almost all of them, except the other man from Delta, that is a Christian. The rest are Muslims. The rest are Muslims. And the president said, if you see any person with AK-47 shoot aside, how many persons have been shot aside? We are saying, tag these Fulani herdsmen, terrorists. Have you heard that? So these are the problems. We need to tell ourselves the truth that this marriage is not workable. The best thing for us to sit down, as three of us are sitting down there, and talk it over. God said, come, let us reason together. So they don't value life. How can somebody unmask, enter into the church, a place of worship, open fire?